What's up everybody, Prepared Guy here once again, and today we're taking a look at the Wurkkos TS21. Upon unboxing the TS21, you'll find the light itself along with the pocket clip, a 3.6 volt 5000 mAh 21700 rechargeable lithium-ion battery, a ridiculous amount of instructions, a C-type charging cable, several O-rings, and a lanyard. The TS21 is made of aerospace grade aluminum, is IPX8 water resistant, has an impact rating of 1 meter, and weighs just over 150 grams or just over 5.5 ounces with the battery on board. I'll leave most of the tech specs from the manual on the screen now, just in case I accidentally leave out any details, so pause the video here for those details. During my runtime test, I ran the TS21 on the 3500 lumen turbo mode, which ramped down slowly to a lower lumen output after 2 minutes of use, and then it ran on a bright, usable light output for an additional 5.5 hours or so before ramping down to a Moonlight type mode for a total runtime of 14 hours, 5.5 hours of which was considered usable light. During my thermal test in the 3500 lumen turbo mode, the TS21 got up to a max thermal output of 103 degrees Fahrenheit or 39 degrees Celsius after about 3 minutes of use. During my recharge time test using my Anker PowerPort 3 charger, the TS21 recharged from completely depleted to fully recharged within 2 hours and 9 minutes. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go into deep detail of all the modes that the TS21 allegedly has to offer, but I will show you the basic operation. 80% of the users won't understand the instructions or use any of these functions anyways, and that's really on Wurkkos for not being clear, or should I say Sofern? Not to mention, most of the instructions that I could understand didn't really have any validity to the operation of the light, so that's why I'm going to give you the basic operation rundown here, because not all of the information in the manual applies to the TS21 for some reason, which is something that other flashlight companies like Olight don't seem to have a problem with.
Alright guys, this is the Wurkkos TS21. It's a really small flashlight. It has a pocket clip on the side, it has a C-type charging port on the side as well that utilizes a 21700 battery. It's really small, it fits in the palm of your hand, it's got 3 LEDs, it's got a magnetic tail switch. It doesn't have a tail switch. It's got a magnetic tail cap. So, very simple flashlight to use on the surface. If you look at the manual, it's very confusing. It's very crazy. They got a lot of stuff in there that's kind of gibberish, doesn't make sense. It says stuff about Sofern and all this other stuff and about different lights. I don't know if Wurkkos and Sofern are the same company. I don't really care. Wurkkos reached out to me, sent me this light and said, hey, Prepared Guy, you want to try it out? I said, yeah, sure, fine. Let's check it out. So, here we go. This light is, it's a beast. Double click, goes right into turbo. Look at that. Boom, 3500 lumens. If you want to use the Moonlight mode, you just press it and hold down for a brief moment. It will go into Moonlight mode. If you want to ramp it, hold it down. It'll ramp all the way up, and then it will go all the way down. And when it does that, when you hold it for that long, you'll see that it will flash a couple times after. Now we're in lockout mode, and now I can't go into turbo. I can still use Moonlight, but it's on momentary on. So I have to press the button. You'll notice when I press it once, it goes into a low moonlight. If I press it twice, it goes into like a little bit higher moonlight mode, but I can't do anything more than that unless I press it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Now I'm out of the lockout mode and back into regular UI. If I want to change the UI, it's very simple. You turn the light on, it's on, 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna go over to the stepping ramping mode. So it will step all the way up and it will stay there. If I want to step back down, I press it again, it goes all the way back down. If I wanted to use the strobe, I have no idea how to use that, because like I said, there's a lot of stuff in this manual that doesn't apply to this light. Like I said, it goes to Sofern and all these other different things, but some of these do work with the light and other ones just, it's gibberish and doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't even be there. It just applies to a different light, but they just threw it in the same manual because they got lazy. So I'm going to give them back exactly what they put in. So very simple, double click, turbo, hold down really quick. You got the low mode. They didn't even bother to put what lumens are which for the stepping mode. So I have no idea what that is. All I know is that the last one is 3500 lumens. So I know as much as you guys do about this. You guys probably know more about it than I do, but it does get hot, so don't spam the turbo. Let's take it outside, because that's basically all I can really say about this light. I mean, I did all the stuff that you could actually do with it. So let's take it outside. Let's see what it does when it stacks up against the Seeker 2 Pro. So let's check it out.
The Wurkkos TS21 has a max beam distance of 217 meters or 712 feet on the 3500 lumen turbo mode. It also has a max candela of 11,900 CD, and the LED color tint is a warm white coming in at 5000K. Alright guys, I am outside with the Wurkkos TS21, and I'm going to put this in the low mode right now and ramp it up slowly. We're 20 feet away from the railing in front of us, and that's what it looks like. 3,500 lumens, max lumens, we're 20 feet away from the railing in front of us. So I'm gonna bring it over to the yard here, and we're gonna see what this looks like. I scared the birds, I scared the birds, I scared the birds, I scared the birds. Uh-oh, there's birds, I scared the birds. All right guys, so another test I'm gonna run is the Seeker 2 Pro versus the Wurkkos TS21. Now, side-by-side comparison, let's do the Wurkkos first. That's what the Wurkkos looks like. We're 100 feet away from that tree line back there. And now, side by side, I'm going to throw the Seeker on the left, Wurkkos on the right, and that's what they look like. You got 3,200 lumens versus 3,500 lumens. The difference, though, is really where the heat is. This heat dissipation on this after you spam the turbo, it's not so good. It gets hot really quick, whereas the Seeker is not even, like, you know, it's fine. And obviously you got that drop down. This is a massive drop down. I'm gonna let you guys see what this looks like as it drops down. It's only gonna take probably another few seconds before it steps down. You can already see it kind of getting duller. You see that? See how it dulled down big time? Look at that. So yes, it gets really, really hot really, really quick. I'm just going to say this is probably feels like about 120, 130 degrees right now, even though during my runtime test, when it stepped down, it was only about 103 degrees, which is kind of weird. I wonder if something's wrong with my equipment. But then you hit that turbo again, boom, spam that turbo. It gets really, really hot. But whereas the Seeker 2 Pro, no problem. But for the size, it's not bad. I mean, it's not bad. If you're not going to spam this and you just need to do a quick spot, I like the color temperature. You can really see it brings out the natural order of things. And then, you know, with the OLight, you get that cool light, 6,500 roughly. And then you got the 5,000 on the Wurkkos. All right, guys, so this is what the Wurkkos looks like. I got some leaves under my feet, but that's what it looks like. Do the spin around. That's the turbo. Like I said, if you're going to use this, do not spam the turbo. It gets too hot to hold. And I always have to constantly spam it. Whereas with, I'm going to put the Seeker 2 right now. Seeker 2, no spamming that turbo. But you got to think about it, that's like about almost $100 difference in these flashlights, $90 roughly. So the heat dissipation is a little bit better on the Seeker 2 Pro than it is on the Wurkkos TS21. Like I said, you keep having to spam that turbo because it keeps dropping down really quick. So that's enough for this test. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We're about 300 feet from the tree line in front of me. I'm gonna put this in the turbo. And as you can see, it reaches across the road. Not too bad. But it still gets really, really hot. My pros and cons for the TS21 are as follows. First, the pros. C-type charging makes this light compatible to charge with most updated charging blocks. 3,500 max lumens and a 21,700 battery makes for an extremely long use out of a small sized pocket light. In fact, it took me a really long time to kill the battery on this light just so I can conduct my recharge time test. 14 hours is a long time to run a light just to drain the battery, so you should be able to use this light for a really long long time in between charging without having to worry about if the battery will perform as long as you need it to. Using the light on a medium output should give you several days, if not weeks, of normal EDC use. As far as the cons go, well, the instructions are confusing and poorly written and barely apply to the actual features on the TS21, but that's my only con, other than the fact that the light gets really hot when you spam the turbo, but they tell you not to do that in the manual, so it's not really a con. Overall, the Wurkkos TS21 is a very awesome EDC light that seems to be kind of a workhorse and a powerhouse. The Wurkkos TS21 has a nice budget-friendly price, rolling in at just $48.99 at regular price, but you can pick one up for as little as $45.99 on Amazon by using the instant coupon available for Prime customers. I'll leave a link down in the description so you can check out more information about the TS21. I hope this video has been helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Prepared Guy, and until next time, guys, stay prepared.